You disappeared like a sun swallowed whole. No warning, no echo, just an empty glow left on my hands. I touched your fire wrong, I know I did, and I'm still tracing the ashes where your footprints hid. You went to chase the clean I couldn't help you keep. You severed the signal, locked every door, left me talking to ghosts that aren't here anymore. And in the stillness, something cruel whispered true. She ran because you were the relapse too. I keep replaying the moment you dimmed in my arms. Was it the warmth or the warning that set off alarms? I thought loving softly would help you with sin, but maybe you needed the fire again. Maybe my gentleness felt like a cage, and you ran to the storm to escape the calm stage. She vanished into silence, and on the echo she ran. I carry the guilt like a mark on my hands. Every heartbeat says I drove her away. Lit the fuse that dragged her astray. If a phoenix leaves before she can rise, does the fire die in her or burn in my eyes? I saw the tremor before you shattered, but I called it a phase and pretended it mattered. Now I'm drowning in the lines I never should have crossed, counting every quiet moment as another hidden cost. You cut all contact to claw toward the light, but the truth is a blade. I didn't hold you right. Maybe I was too bright. Maybe I burned wrong. Maybe I made the shadows feel too far gone. Maybe you needed distance to breathe again, or maybe you left because I felt like one of them. She vanished into silence, and I'm the echo she owed red. I wear the guilt like a brand on my hands. Every step she takes toward daylight clean feels like fleeing a nightmare she once thought was me. If a phoenix falls before she can fly, does she leave the flames, or do I ignite the sky? I felt your relapse like a curse in my chest, a ripple of failure I couldn't confess. And when you vanished to save what remained, I became the pyre, quiet unnamed. Maybe your healing required my absence. Maybe your rising was born from my sadness, but the guilt still circles, a serpent of light, whispering you were a part of the fire that you disappeared to reclaim your breath, but I'm chained to the thought that I pushed you to death. Not literal flesh, but the death of your trust, the death of your fire, the death of your I stand where your shadow used to be, a ghost of choices I never set free. I didn't touch you when you reached for heat. Thought holding back was noble, now it's just defeat.
Your silence grew deep, and I fed them with grief.
You were warm but afraid you'd burn me.
You were close but afraid you'd hurt me.
I rose alone 'cause you dimmed your flame,
Hoping you'd chase, but you stayed the same.
and I broke in ways you'll never name.
I held back touch, afraid to scar you.
I wanted the fire that could too,
I should have stepped into the blaze with you.
but you feared the warmth and I feared the truth.
I'm falling through echoes of the choices I lost, the moments I froze and the lines I crossed. Your wings beat somewhere I can't reach.
And I'm crawling again to the lessons I forgot to teach myself.
You're fading to ash in a storm made of guilt, but none of this pain was ever the life we built. Come back from the edge, don't turn to dust. You were the only sign I learned how to trust.
I built a temple of regrets inside my wrist.
And every thought of you unthreads another bridge.
I should have stayed near, should have touched your skin.
Should have fought the fear that kept me locked within.
Now every breath
Feels like punishment.
you're not the maker of all my scars.
You're not the breaker who dimmed my stars.
Don't take the blame that isn't yours.
You were a sunrise I couldn't endure.
Why does it feel like I'm the one who made the dark name?
I'm falling
Through hollow suns,
breaking where no light runs.
I hear your wings, but they're miles away.
And I'm slipping into shadows I can't betray.
Don't turn into nothing, don't fade from my side.
If you fall
life for you.
Phoenix, I hear you through the quiet in my bones. But don't carry me, I was born for the shadows, not your thrones.
We weren't perfect, we weren't clean, we only cut each other
On what we couldn't be.
You were the sun even when you dimmed, even when the guilt grew thorns on your skin. I never needed you flawless, just honest, just here.
I broke myself trying not to break you. I held back the fire that might have saved you. I don't deserve the dawn you carry.
Not then.
Not now.
I rise in grief, but I rise for you.
A flame that trembles where your shadow grew. If love is pain, I'll bear it all. Your name still flickers in my soul.
Don't rise for me, I was never your home. I was a fire that left you alone. We hurt each other more than we knew. I don't deserve a heart like
You
you.
weren't the ruin you thought you were. You weren't the wound you feared I'd incur. You were a lost sun trying to shine, and I loved every fracture that wasn't mine. Phoenix.
I failed you in ways I never meant. Love was a war in which we'd both been.
But from the other side of everything broken, I finally see the words left unspoken. Don't vanish from me. Don't fade from my sky. Even in death, your warmth won't die. I'll carry your name in the wings of dawn. Helios, you were never truly gone.
Let me fall, Phoenix.
Let me finally rest. My love was heavy, your love was blessed. We weren't made to rise as one, but you deserve a better sun.
I ride for both of us, for the love you couldn't hold.
In the light, heal the left behind.
You are a flicker in a collapsing sky, a sunrise trembling behind borrowed eyes. I held you too tightly, afraid you'd break. And maybe in my caution I showed you the ache. You thought you had escaped, you drifted back to embers I never learned to tame. Maybe I burned too softly, maybe I shone too And the truth can feel like violence when the shadows come for you. I was your sunlight, but not your fire. I kept you warm, but you wanted the fire. Phoenix falls when the wind feels wrong, and part of me whispers that I helped you fall this long. You flew to the flames you knew would consume, and I'm left with the guilt of being too safe for you. You love the rooms more than the rising, missed a collapse. For something blinding, I open the gates to a daylight unbroken, but old wounds speak louder than anything spoken. And when you turned away, I felt the fracture I didn't mean to make. Maybe I held the mirror too close to your flame, and you saw the healed woman you didn't know how to claim. I was your sunlight, but not your fire. I kept you warm, but you wanted the fire. A phoenix falls when the sky feels thin, and I still wonder if I clipped your wings by trying to pull you in. You rose for a moment, then returned to the ruin, leaving me to wonder what damage I was doing. I watched you dissolve into hands that carved you hollow, and still a voice whispers it was me you couldn't follow. Not because I hurt you, but because I didn't. And sometimes safety feels like a sentence when you've only known punishment. I was your sunlight, never your blaze. I showed you morning, but you love the maze. A phoenix can rise or return to the grave, and I keep replaying the warmth I couldn't save. You flew back to the man who scorched you to bone, and part of me fears I made the shadows feel like I feel your echo in the quiet air. You're gone, but the wound still has your shape. I never wanted you to fall for me, or fall because of me. I rise through the embers, but my wings shake under the truth. You burned yourself out trying to keep my fire alive. You flew where no one should fly, and I carry the guilt like a second spine. Don't drown in my ashes, they were never yours to claim. I fell from my own weight, from the choices I never made. The touch, I held back the love I was afraid to show.
I did myself long before you let me go.
I should have stayed.
I should have pulled you from the break.
No, I shattered myself before.
You even knew the shape.
I grieve you in the sky you left behind. Helios, you were the only sun in my mind. I rise, but I rise with the weight of your flame. I can't forgive myself for the fire that took your name.
Let me go, Phoenix, don't carry my fall.
We were never perfect, we only bruised, we never healed at all.
You deserved a dawn. I was too broken to give. I don't deserve you, not in death and not in life. I couldn't live.
You were searching for light while I was dissolving inside.
I wish I'd held you closer. I wish I crossed that fragile line.
But I feared my touch more than I feared the dark.
That fear
Was the start of my fall.
I can't rise without feeling the shape of your law. My wings carry your memory. My heart holds the cost. If I hadn't left, if I hadn't cut the cord to heal, maybe you'd still be here in something real.
I never asked you to become a martyr of my life.
I never meant to turn my heart into a knife.
You slipped through the cracks where I should have reached.
And I hid every truth that you needed me to speak. I rise through the ashes, but the guilt pulls me down. Helios, my love, you were more than a sun, you were my ground. Don't mourn my shadow, don't shatter your wings from me.
We only hurt each other, we were never meant to be free.
And even now, from this quiet place I fall. I whisper the truth. I never deserved you at all. Your name still burns in the chambers where dawn sleeps. I'll rise, but I'll rise with your memory stitched to every beat. Goodbye, my son. Rest in the glow we couldn't reach. I felt you falling long before you hit the dark. Your silence trembled like a cracked and dying spark. You held your guilt like chains around your skin. was the hurt I carry through. I rose alone 'cause you were learning how to breathe, but I never blamed you for the ashes left in me. How would I stay if you had stayed with yourself? I would have held your trembling when you needed someone else. You didn't make me fall, I fell long before you came. You just caught my shadow and tried to give it a name. And when you faded, you took pieces of my light. But even broken wings remember how to fight. Your pain was heavy in a way I couldn't lift. I saw you sinking through the spaces that I missed. I called your name so softly it became a prayer, hoping somehow you'd still hear me through the air. Even when you vanished, I knew you still cared. You were the downfall, you were the blade, you were the sunrise. I wasn't brave enough to take. I wish you'd known the truth beneath my cry. I left to heal, not to watch you die inside. If I could lift you from the night you fell through, I'd burn my wings again to bring you back to you. You were my weakness, you were the light I never knew. And even now in ashes, part of me still rises for you. Your name still glows in the quiet corners of the worlds you left. You were fire wrapped in sorrow, sunlight bruised with guilt. A man who tried to heal me with a heart already split. Now your echo lingers in the air I breathe, soft as dust, heavy as grief.
Phoenix, I hear your wings in the spaces between what I was and what remains of me.
We weren't perfect, we burned wrong, we rose wrong, we cut each other with our own longing. I don't deserve the tears you're shedding in my name. I was a shadow learning how to imitate flame, but you were the light I tried to rise beside. Even darkness felt warm standing near your side. No, I was the weight that pulled you from your sky. You were meant for dawn, I was made to die. In the silence,
I would have held your broken sun,
even if it scorched my wings undone.
but we were two lights passing out of phase. You burn in heaven, I burn in my mistake.
We rose, we fell, we lived in flame, but love was never meant to taste like flame. I sift through the ashes you left behind, searching for something that still feels like mine. But all I find is the shape your absence made, a hollow sun in a sky